Hey everybody, welcome to Filmsmiths. I'm Zach.
And I'm Nick.
And we are back with part 2 of our 2014 wrap-up.
Sorry it took so long. We just had to find some more films and they weren't coming around, so we had to find them and it took a while. We're here now, sorry.
It took longer than we thought. My bad. Oops.
Sorry. So first on the list is a very big topic, a very controversial topic, American Sniper.
Also known as Why We Fight, Part 7.
Now first things first, we're going to do our best to pretty much only talk about the film. You have to talk a little bit about, you know, what is around it, what built up to it, but we're not going to get into politics, that's not what we do here.
There's a movie channel, and that's what we do, so don't get mad.
We'll give a little bit more for context, but we're going to do our best to not be opinionated about that. The movie is about Chris Kyle, who was
He was an American sniper.
He was an American sniper, the sniper with the most confirmed kills in history. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's directed by Clint Eastwood, and you know, before I really knew anything, if you had asked me, oh, you think Clint Eastwood would be a good director? I'd probably say, who? Clint Eastwood? No. What? But Clint Eastwood is honestly one of the most consistently really good directors today. Like, everything is just really solid with him.
And a lot of people do have their issues with him. A lot of people didn't like J. Edgar, which both of us really liked. People had strong negative feelings about Jersey Boys, which I thought was just pretty good. Like, not great, but I can't think of a film I've seen from Eastwood that I just actually disliked. He's either good or great pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
And American Sniper is a good Eastwood film.
Yeah, it's a really good war movie. What the film does well, which it differs from real life actually, is it shows Chris Kyle as kind of a real human.
Yeah.
A lot of the movie is him struggling to sort of come to terms with the things that he did in war, which actually differs from the real Chris Kyle, who was, I guess you'd call him more gung-ho about...
Yeah. He didn't quite have those regrets about what he was doing. He was almost proud of them. He referred to them as savages, which isn't okay.
Yes.
And he thought that he was doing this in order to save his comrades, which, yeah, you know, if he didn't take all of those shots, he probably would have lost a lot more men, and that is fine. But, I mean, that's not it.
Just a little weird, you know. Personally, I get a bit uncomfortable hearing somebody talk like that. You know, war is messy, and I would not do well in war. Yeah,
it's really unnerving just to hear about someone even who isn't totally shocked by everything that goes down there. But Bradley Cooper's performance, he makes him into a real human who feels regret.
Who feels.
You know, and it's a much more likable character, and I think that is mostly due to Bradley Cooper's terrific performance. You know, I did like American Sniper. I don't think it's great, but it is a very good war film. Clint Eastwood knows how to shoot war films, and there's a lot of real human emotion and tension that it does well. I give American Sniper an 8.
And I give American Sniper 51 confirmed kills.
That's less than he had. Got some work to do.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Next up on the list is Inherent Vice.
Also known as This Book, the movie.
So Inherent Vice is the most recent film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
My boy, PTA. Yeah, you know what? Life is full of regrets, and I think my biggest regret is that I did not tell everybody, oh, I'm going to the PTA meeting when I went to see Inherent Vice. One day.
Paul Thomas Anderson, of course, known for directing The Master, There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, all sorts of great, great films. Inherent Vice, to me, not as good. It stars Joaquin Phoenix and Josh Brolin and a lot of other people, and it looks great.
It is a very visually appealing film.
It takes place in the 70s. It looks and truly feels like you're in the 70s with them, and that is great. However, Zach, tell me what you thought about the plot.
Oh, you know,
I don't really know what happens. It's really convoluted. I understand that the book is also written sort of like that, where you almost feel like you're on a trip, or there's just like a haze around because of 70s and drug culture and whatever. But it doesn't make it the easiest film to watch.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. The performances are all great. Joaquin Phoenix, Josh Brolin are both very, very good.
Honestly, Joaquin Phoenix and Josh Brolin are two of my favorite actors out there right now.
I could have seen Brolin getting a Best Supporting Actor nomination instead of Robert Duvall, but that didn't happen, so... So, Inherent Vice is a gorgeously shot film that may or may not be a mess. It's hard to tell what it wanted to do. I still like it, not as great as PTA's other works. I give Inherent Vice a 6.5.
And I give Inherent Vice Motu Penekeku.
Get it? Next up on the list is Wild.
Also known as Castaway in a Forest.
So Wild stars Reese Witherspoon?
That's about it. Wild is definitely one of these movies that is basically just one person doing their thing. And boy, movies like that really, really live or die based on the performance of that one person.
How's Tom Hanks in Castaway? Great. How's Robert Redford in All Is Lost? Great. How's Reese Witherspoon in Wild? She is great. This is her second time being nominated for an Oscar, and if this was a different year where Julianne Moore wasn't competing, I bet she probably would have won, which is, you know, a bummer, but things happen. Reese Witherspoon really holds this whole film together, and it's not a glamorous role, it's real down and dirty.
Certainly not. And even Reese Witherspoon isn't somebody you really think of who can carry a movie, so it was really, really nice to see, you know, you're really doing it, Reese.
Yeah, it's certainly not like just what the fun of Legally Blonde is. Like, it's real, and it's an emotional ride because she's hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, which is very, very long, and she's all by herself, and it's brutal. It's really a fascinating thing to see how she does it. There are a couple parts where it's a little bit slow. You only get Laura Dern in flashbacks, and sometimes they don't really connect as much as they should. But I still enjoyed it quite a bit. I give Wild a 7.5.
And I give Wild the Minnesota Wild hockey team.
Up next, we're going to talk about Foxcatcher.
Also known as Rich Guy Likes Sports.
A little too much.
Foxcatcher stars Steve Carell in what is most certainly his least Steve Carell-y role ever. And then you also got Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo up in the mix. A really, really good trio of actors that really all do a great job in this movie.
Yes.
It's based on the true story of the Foxcatcher wrestling team.
And John DuPont.
John DuPont, who was a very crazy guy.
Yeah.
Very rich, very unstable. And he brings in these American wrestlers to train them up for the Olympics.
Because he wants to win some medals.
He wants those medals. Kind of in the same vein as Whiplash, you have like a mentor-mentee situation.
A lot of emotional abuse.
A lot of abuse. It gets really bad, and no spoilers, but this goes as far as murder.
Yeah. And even then, that's not a huge spoiler because this did happen in real life.
Right.
So
just Google it. As with regards to the movie itself, there's this just sense of impending doom the whole time.
The whole time.
It's very unsettling, very dark, and very well done.
Steve Carell completely disappears into this role. A lot of people just say, oh, his makeup's doing all the acting for him. But just because you have a prosthetic nose on does not mean you don't have to act anymore. And it's subtle, but it is 100% unnerving. There's not a moment where you aren't creeped out by Steve Carell.
I can't say enough. Very unsettling.
Mark Ruffalo is also very good, but for me, the true focal point of this movie is Channing Tatum.
Definitely. He's definitely what the movie centers around. He really drives it.
And it's dark and brooding in a way that we've never really seen him before, and I hope we get to see more like this from Channing Tatum, because now we know he can do it. Foxcatcher was directed by Bennett Miller, who also did Capote and Moneyball, which, now that I think about it, must be the weirdest trifecta ever, but they're three terrific films that are going to hold up for a while. I give Foxcatcher a 9.
And I give Foxcatcher a gold medal.
Look at you. You did it.
You got it.
The next film, unfortunately, Zach has not seen, so... But Abby did see it, so now we're going to talk to you about Unbroken.
Also known as Seabiscuit 2, Prisoner of War.
Who said that?
I don't want to do this anymore.
So Unbroken is the true story of Louis Zamperini, who was an Olympic runner. He ran real fast, and then he went to war, and then he was the prisoner of war, and things were not good for a very long time.
I went into this movie, I guess I'll start off by saying,
expecting this to be the stereotypical, inspirational, uplifting, but really hard-hitting piece about someone who just gets thrown out of their element when they go to war, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, you had the orchestral, uplifting moments of people dying and people being saved, and him doing the thing and shouting, and it was just everything we've already seen, just in a different, like, way, I guess. Which isn't saying it's bad.
No, I definitely enjoyed Unbroken. Is it a great film? No. It is good. Most of that is from the triumphant and defiant performance from Jack O'Connell, who is remarkable. Hot new talent. The United States has not seen much of him yet. He's a bit bigger in England. I can't wait for more Jack O'Connell. He was terrific.
Truly. However, and this is a very small however, I guess I thought that Angelina was above cheap scares.
Angelina Jolie, the director, by the way.
Yeah, involving sharks. I don't like sharks. I don't like scares that involve sharks. And I saw in the trailer that they were, at some point in the movie, out in the ocean, presumably, on a raft, floating for days. And I thought, she could, but I don't think she will. I think she's better than that.
She did it.
She did. And it was, oh, I remember the moment leading up. Someone's like leaning back and you're looking too far vertically down at the water, and then boom, like Jaws rises and like tries to snap at someone. And I died a little inside. Angelina, why? I thought you were better than that. But that's one small personal issue with an otherwise okay movie.
Angelina Jolie is still relatively untested as a director. I have seen her 2 feature films as of now, and I like them both quite a bit. There are rumors that she might be wanting to direct a Miss Marvel or a Wonder Woman movie, and if anyone knows her way around action, it's probably Lara Croft Tomb Raider herself. I'm excited to see where she goes from here. Also, I give Unbroken a 7.
Again, very small however in there with the shark bit, but I went in assuming it would be exactly what it was. So I was neither disappointed nor blown away. I'll give it a 6.
Also, shout out to my boy Roger Deakins, the cinematographer, who made a real pretty film.
Truly. Is that it for me then?
I think so.
Alright.
So, that's it. That's 2014. It came, and it went, and it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
If you have opinions about these 5 films, or any film from 2014, or any film from 2015, or 2013.
Or, you know what? Any year, really.
But not 1984, please. Not the movie 1984, the year 1984.
We've done some research. It wasn't a super good year.
Just not that one. Any other one.
Let us know in the comment section, or get at us on Twitter, talk to us on there. We're more than happy to chat with you about some movies.
Here's looking forward to 2015.
Hoping it gets better than January and February.
Hope things turn around a little bit. I'm optimistic.
I hope you'll join us on this magical roller coaster ride of films and talking about films. And also, it's a roller coaster. Put your safety bar down.
Right now, do it. Do it. You're gonna fly out. Oh, you flew out the roller coaster. You're dead now.
I'll miss you. Well, that about wraps it up for this one. I'm Nick.
And I'm Zach.
See you next time. Next year.
Hey.
No, it's 2015 right now.
It's 20.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what if we don't do another one until 2016?
Oh, no!